Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm doing something that I'm pretty excited about. I'm a huge horror movie fan, and I love the Blair Witch Project. As much hate as that movie has gotten over the years, I thought it was awesome. So I've always been kind of fascinated by the lore of that movie and the whole story behind it and everything. I recently did some research and found out where most of the filming locations are. So we're going to be heading there to Burkittsville. I'm going to check out the cemetery and try to get some of the shots that they got from the movie. And then I'm going to head into town and try to check out some of the places where they interviewed the locals. And then we're going to head into the woods and see if we can find where they went there. So I know that unfortunately the house that is in the end of the movie that everybody knows about, it was demolished, I want to say like 2003 or something like that. So anyway, the house isn't there anymore. There's nothing there. It's just like hunting ground from what I've found. So there's really no reason to go out there. But the creek where they interviewed the two fisherman dudes and Coffin Rock and that little cave behind Coffin Rock, all that stuff is accessible. So we're going to head there and check those places out. Anyway, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, so you guys can join me and we'll see how it goes. All right, see ya. So here's our, get the focus, here's our first stop. This is Mike's house where they picked him up before they went to interview some people in the town. Alright, so the first stop is down. Like I said, that was Mike's house. And so now we're going to head into town and check out some of the places where they interviewed the locals before they headed into the woods. So let's go see what these places look like 25, 26 years later. Alright, so we are at the little diner, or what would have been the diner, on one of their first stops where they came to interview people. And so right here in this window is where the ghost decal would be when they go in and they interview the waitress. And then I believe Heather probably would have been sitting at a table, maybe at that window. It's kind of hard to tell. It's either that first window or this second one here. I'm guessing it was the first. So you can see now that it is a supply store. 26 years later, rather than a diner. They were nice enough to let me film and take some pictures out here, so appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna get to our next stop. So we are at now what is called Stupps Market, and this would have been one of their first stops. They interviewed the old man right about here. You can see the house in the background, and then they had another angle right about here. You can see that in the background there. The ladies that are working here right now said that they get a lot of tours coming through, people interested in the movie. A lot of people want to come through and take pictures and film, shoot some footage, and they were nice enough to give me permission to shoot outside, so we appreciate that. So far we've seen Mike's house and a couple of the places where they did some interviews of the locals, and so the next stop we're going to the Burkittsville cemetery. It's huge and creepy, and I can't wait to see it. Let's go check it out. So we made it to Burkittsville, and it's very cold and very windy, so sorry if you have trouble hearing me. The cemetery is right down the road there. Right down there, I think about a half mile. So let's head down and check out the cemetery. So we're inside the cemetery. looking for the exact spots where they filmed. As you can see, it's a pretty big place. All right, so from the shots in the movie, it looks like there's somewhere over here. All right, so I'm at the top of the hill in Burkittsville Cemetery, and this large headstone behind me, it says Fluke. That's the headstone that is behind Heather while she's giving her monologue about the history of Blair. It looks like it's changed since the movie, though, because this headstone looks relatively new, and in the movie there was like decorative patterns at the top corner of it, so I don't know if it's been vandalized at some point, you know, between the movie being made and now. I don't know, but then when she turns while she's speaking, these two pillars, or one of these pillars, is in the shot. I don't know if it's the one closest to me or the one farther away, but one of those pillars is in the shot while she's speaking. And then there's some more B-roll of other grave sites that plays while she's doing her thing. So I'm gonna head down and try to find those spots. I'm finished at the cemetery, and I gotta say, it's pretty creepy. It's just like in the middle of nowhere on top of a hill, and the town, turn around, you can kind of see the town behind me. It's not much of a town. It's like one road straight through town, and it looks like it should be abandoned, but it's not. There's people living here. On to the next stop, which is the hotel that they stayed at. See you there. So our last stop before we head into the woods, this is the hotel that they would have stayed at the night before they went into the woods. At the time, I believe it was called Hillside Hotel. And then I heard that it was abandoned and then opened back up. I can't really tell right now. I think it might still be in operation. There's a car over there, and there's some people over there, and there's actually a sign that says Hillside Hotel. So I don't know if maybe it changed names and then changed back, but anyway, it's pretty cool. The next stop, the woods. So we are on Black Rock Road in the what would be called the Black Hills Forest in Blair Witch, but it's actually just Seneca Creek State Park in Maryland. And so behind me is the shed that they passed on the way to their parking spot where they went into the woods. So you only see it for like half a second in the movie, but that's definitely the one they pass. So we're gonna go take a look and see what's inside of it. See what's under here. Nothing really. I half expected to see a body. Let's see what's up here. Oh shit. There's been people sleeping up here. Can y'all see that? Wow. All right. Let's get out of here before they decide to come home. All right, on to the next spot. So next we're gonna see, well, their parking spot. So it's kind of out of order because there's a spot just down the road and that's where they park, I believe, to go into the woods. But before they do that, they interviewed the two fishermen near the creek, which is farther up. So it's a little bit out of order, but we're gonna go see the place where they park first, and then we'll head to where they interview the fishermen, and then Coffin Rock. I believe this is about where they would have parked in the movie, somewhere around these little posts right here in the ground, and then they would have went into the woods. And you can see it's just right there, like the shed is just right there, so it's not far at all. All right, this is where they would have interviewed the fishermen, right here out on this rock. You can see the bridge. I might have to get out there to see it. See if I can do this without dropping my camera, falling in the creek. All right. So there's the bridge right there. There's the rock formation where the guys were standing. Pretty cool. Go out here a little further. All right, so the last stop I'm really excited about is Coffin Rock. So if I have my directions straight, which I think I do, it's east across from Black Mill, or there's a trail across from Black Mill, or Black Rock Mill, and you follow that east for like a quarter of a mile or something, and supposedly you'll run right into it. So let's hope I don't get lost. I think I found the path that I'm supposed to take. So we're heading to Coffin Rock now. Should be, like I said, about a quarter of a mile into the woods, and you can't miss it. Let's see if I can find it. I'm fairly certain that I found it. This is so cool. And then right there, so it's not much of a cave. I always thought it was like a cave, but it's kind of just like an indention in the side of the rock or whatever. But this is where Heather read the story of Coffin Rock. Here's the actual rock right here. It's huge and goes out into the middle of the creek. And so the story behind that is that 5 men came out to the woods to search for one of the missing children, and they were later found with their arms and legs, I believe, tied together, and they were all disemboweled and decomposed. So pretty gruesome stuff. All right, guys, so Coffin Rock was my last stop. I hope you guys had as much fun watching the video as I did making it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Well, there's the trail. I got lost there for a second. All right, I think I'm back on track.